Buen Camino, everyone. Today is my first video about the Camino de Santiago. I'm currently 4 months out from starting my Camino in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. And today I'm out at Seneca Lake. This is where I do most of my training, walking for the Camino for the past few years that I've been planning it. Today is a kind of overcast day without a lot of people at the lake, but it is pretty nice here today. I guess the first thing that I want to record for posterity is 4 months out from something that I've been planning for 3 years. I'm asking myself now, am I nervous? Am I sure what I'm doing? Because you plan something for a long time and then see it come to fruition, there's always a hesitation there. There's always, I was so sure about something for so long, but then you see it in the implementation and you wonder, like, have I just been arrogant? Have I been cocky? Do I really know what I think I know? I think all those things are good things. I think all those things are good thoughts to have your own doubts. And part of the answer is yes, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit concerned about my own plans. Maybe because 4 months out from starting, I have those plans, some of them set in stone now, and some of them not. So I'm half planned. I'm certain about certain things, and I'm uncertain about other things. And I guess I'm facing that kind of Rumsfeldian dichotomy about there are known unknowns and unknown unknowns. And you kind of start to deal with the first category of things that you don't know, and that second category of things you don't know that you don't know becomes more and more pertinent because that becomes what remains. That said, I'm not nervous in another sense. In another sense, I really have come to be very certain about the righteousness of my plan, or the rightness of my plan to do the Camino at this time in my life. And I've seen a lot of people's videos, and I've read many books, which I'm going to be discussing on my channel. I've read a lot of blogs, and I've just been so immersed in the idea of the Camino and on the idea of going on the Camino for so long. And some of my friends have heard way too much about it, and other people in my life are still somewhat in the dark about it. I just think it would be interesting to talk about it in general to anyone that wants to listen. And I'm not going to offer a lot of advice on this channel about planning for the Camino, about what you should do, about what's the right path for you, or what type of shoes you should bring. I've gone through all of those things, but there's so many people either on the Camino forums, which are a great resource, or on YouTube, or on blogs, or they've just given their recommendations. There's guidebooks, there's Brierly, there's definitely Ivar's Camino forums. There's so many of those discussions out there that I don't think anyone wants to hear my opinion on shoes. And while it probably does matter on some level, on the other level, the answer is always the same. It's always what's right for you. There's one answer to a lot of questions if you read the Camino forums that says, how long is a piece of string? People ask things like, I saw one, where will I be 2 weeks into the Camino? Well, I don't know, how long is a piece of string, right? There's a Rob Zombie movie where the answer to that question is given as too goddamn long. That's how long. You don't know. You just don't know what's right for another person. I've seen some people that have given very, very strong opinions on things, not understanding that they're not right for other people. So this is not going to be that type of channel or that type of video, and my blog is not going to be that kind of blog. It's more going to be, I guess, an intellectual journey, because I consider myself an intellectual. And so there's a huge physical portion to the Camino. Of course, you have to physically do it. And there's a huge spiritual component, and that's what I'm really interested in. But I think it's hard to share that with people. It's hard to have some kind of spiritual understanding. You can express yourself in ideas though, and so I want to kind of look at a third aspect of this as that intellectual journey and what it means, and that's really what I'm going to be going for. I don't know about the emotional aspect of it as much. I began by talking about nervousness and confidence, and so I guess that what I can address with this is that intellectually I'm certain about certain things, and spiritually I'm certain about certain things, and physically you never know until you're there. I mean, day one out of San Juan, break my ankle, whole thing's over. What can you do about it? Or, you know, you get to Santiago ahead of time, it was way easier than you thought. You don't know. Unless you're going to go walking for 30 days and go 500 miles, you don't know how long it's going to take you, any of those things. You can only guess. The other question is really emotional. And I don't know, are you ever really certain of that? Some people, I guess, are more certain than I am. They can go into things without questioning them and rerunning them in their mind, and I'm definitely not that person. I think I rethink and rethink and rethink everything. And I want to address, related to that, people that are in a situation like me where you've thought about the Camino for years, and you've thought about taking this trip for years, and maybe you're really close to it now, or maybe you're not, or maybe you're just stuck in that holding pattern where you thought about it and you know that you want to do it. You know that you want to do it, but it hasn't come about the right time. Whether it's time off of work, whether it's money, whether it's family commitments, whether it's anything else. And I've had all of those things. In the past 3.5 years since I've learned about the Camino, I've had all of those things. I've taken care of dying loved ones. I've had financial setbacks. I've had just career setbacks. And it took me a long time to be able to get to the point where I now have these solid plans, where I have what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it and how I'm going to be able to accomplish it and fit it into my life. And I'm in some ways lucky, very lucky, that I can do these things. And I wonder now if I've somehow waited too long, if I would have enjoyed the experience more if I had been able to do it more when the kind of urge first hit me and that excitement was really there. I was so excited. And if any of these setbacks have kind of changed my perspective on things, and I think that they have. I think that there is a kind of permanent change of perspective because I've had so much time to be alone with my thoughts and think about what the Camino means to me now. And that maybe that is part of that nervousness that I talked about. Maybe I've thought about it too much, and maybe the better thing to do is just go for it when you can. But now is when I can. Now is kind of the first opportunity that I've had where things are going to fall in place and that I'm going to be able to go on my pilgrimage. And I wonder how many other people are like me, where they were in that holding pattern for years, where it was something that they wanted to do. And I know that a lot of people have had to wait until retirement, put things off until they really had that leave from work that really was like a kind of permanent leave from work, where retirement freed them up to do those things. I'm still fairly young, younger than a retiree, I guess. And I'm lucky to be in a position now where I can do these things. But I think for a lot of people there becomes this sense of being a pilgrim but having not gone on the pilgrimage, this sense of being part of the community but waiting to start, a failure to launch. And if you're one of those people, then I guess, you know, maybe you're a kindred spirit to me. Maybe in the time between now and the Camino, we could have discussion, or just watching this video or reading what I have to say will kind of help you see where you are. Or, you know, you guys could help me see where I am, because I'm still in the formation of this kind of pilgrim life that's about to start. I'm about 4 months out, 123 days. Can't come soon enough. Buen Camino, everybody, and I'll see you soon.